Bullshit is a really good mental model for talking about ChatGPT.
This is a very good video about a book called Bullshit and how it relates to AI. And all of this worries me for two reasons. One is that as a geriatric millennial, I think historians will look back at my exact time period and say it was the last clean internet, might be the word we use for it. I was in college when Facebook became open to college students, and right now in 2023, as I turned 40, AI is about to flood the internet with text, and from now on, we'll never know if it's humans or AI writing what we read and what historians are digging through about how our language changed, what we're thinking about, and we don't know what's going to be bullshit out there. One worry is that bullshit becomes enshrined once it gets repeated enough. We've seen this all the time in human history. But even in my own work, I looked up about the minor cannabinoid CBDV on ChatGPT, and the first paragraph was good, and the second paragraph it said it had been studied in humans for these three diseases. And I'm like, I've never heard that. I mean, it would make sense, it would help there, but I've never heard anything like that. And I go and look it up, and in fact, it hadn't. It just made it up. And I saw something recently from a doctor who gave a really hard diagnosis to a AI, and it got it right. And then when asked, how did you get the right diagnosis there, it said, well, because this French paper by these authors titled this. And he went to go look up the paper, and it didn't exist. The AI had made it up to justify its findings. And unless you're double checking it, you don't know if that's bullshit. And if you're not an expert, you don't know if that's bullshit. And then finally, what's closest to my heart is how AI might start to pollute science. Because in the last 5 years or so, there's been an explosion of researchers using AI outside of computer fields. Probably what it was like in the 60s or 70s to see all these people start using PCs to help get their research results better. And they're amazing tools. They're for sorting data, for finding patterns, for all this stuff. But the problem is, for me as a science writer, I could look up to see if the research was actually there that it was talking about. But when you're a researcher creating new research, there's nobody else to double check it with besides yourself and your team. And just like the human mind can see patterns that aren't there, or the machines can do the same thing. And they can also be looking at the wrong things. We don't realize it because we don't know what they're actually doing. And so the big danger is, because if you want this pattern to be true because it's better for your career, you might not do as good a job of double checking it. And this could be leading to a time where we won't be able to trust science results like we used to because the AI is spitting out stuff that isn't true. And so AI as a bullshit machine is a really big worry.